This week on Dumb Pitches, I explain myself, and then I get into a couple of, I think, brilliant inventions that may already exist. I don't know. They're pretty good. A Roomba for your grass and something to take care of your pit stains, okay? We'll be back in studio next week, and I'm looking forward to it. Here we go. It's still just such a fun episode. Dumb Pitches.
What a bunch of dumb pitches. Oh my goodness.
Welcome to another episode of Dumb Pitches with Monica Nevi. I'm Monica Nevi, your host. This is the show where we talk to successful people about their worst ideas. I'm going to start this week's episode by explaining myself. We did skip last week. I also didn't say anything, and that is my fault, and I apologize for that. We are transitioning studios. So the studio, I'm still going to be recording with the same studio, but in a different location, and anyway, so we were figuring that out, and I was busy. I don't know. I'm so sorry. It was a bad idea. It was a dumb pitch on my part. But here I am this week. What we're going to do is a solo episode. This is from my home. It should sound just fine, except for the fucking cars driving by. Hopefully you can't hear that. There won't be a video with it. It will be on YouTube, though, and I've decided to just upload my iCloud and see what shows up, and so that'll play. You know, those pictures will go why this is on. I'm fucking kidding. But I will put some random pictures up there, at least for your entertainment. So you can listen on YouTube while you watch a slideshow of dumb pictures, maybe. And I'll do just, a quick dumb episode of my ideas. It's been a little while since we've done my ideas, unless you are on the YouTube membership. There was a couple recently that were just for the YouTube members. So why don't we take this time to discuss the YouTube membership? Okay, worth it. You pay per month, and there's different levels. It's cheap. The cheapest is $3.99 a month. That's easy. You get this show before everyone else. You also get bonus episodes of this show that only YouTube members get. You also get full stand-up sets that are not on my regular YouTube, and for the most part aren't edited. So you get to see the whole thing. Maybe you live far away and you don't get to see me live very often, or you saw a clip that you liked and you wanted to see the whole thing. Those are available on there too, along with some other things. Separately, this is brand new. I'm here to announce it for everyone. I just got new merch. I haven't had new merch in a while other than my albums, and so we have ordered, and I have them in my possession. Stepdad Energy shirts. If you've seen the clip from my special or seen me do that joke live, it is exactly what I say. On the front it says I have big stepdad energy, and on the back it says just ask your mom. This weekend I will be with Mr. D, Joe Dombrowski, at some theaters around the Northwest, and so I will be selling those shirts there first. So if you have tickets to those shows, come and get your t-shirt or your sweatshirt. I did some crew neck sweatshirts because that felt very stepdad to me. But after that, I will have them available online first, only to YouTube members or Patreon members from my other podcast. So if you're not a member of one of those things and you're really excited about the shirts, they won't be available online for quite a while unless you are one of those members. So please, it just helps us out, helps my family. It's all those things. It's great. And I'm proud of, I haven't done t-shirts in a long time. I forgot how much space they take up. But we have to now see, was this t-shirt a good idea, or is it just funny as a joke to talk about? I don't know. We'll see. So before we get into some of my sweet new bad ideas, we'll see. I think I'm onto something. I got a couple of product inventions, I suppose, that I have come up with in the last couple of weeks. So I'm going to pitch you those. But instead of giving you my good ideas, my credits, I'm going to tell you where you can see me live. in person in the next month. How about that? So, like I said, this weekend, I am at some theaters with Mr. D. Tonight, Friday, May 6th, I'm in Everett, Washington. There are a few tickets left for that. So if you weren't weren't allowed to buy tickets for tomorrow, which is the Triple Door in Seattle, those are both sold out. I'm sorry. But you can still get a couple tickets left in Everett. Not very many, though. Also, this is a secret, but if you don't know, I run a show on the first Friday of every month in Fremont, in Seattle, and it's called the Super Secret Show, and the whole idea is that the people who are headlining in the area come and drop in secretly, right? Secret celebrity drop-ins. Well, I'm hosting that. So, if you weren't able to get tickets to the Saturday show, this is me telling you you should come for $7 to the midnight show on Friday, and you may be able to see some of the people you were going to get to see on Saturday. That's my super secret suggestion. Ooh, super secret suggestions. All right. May 12th, I'm at the Hereafter in Seattle, which is part of the Crocodile, because I'm also on May 13th and 14th, I'm doing the Upper Left Fest, which is Seattle's new comedy festival. I'm very proud of it and excited to be a part of it. I didn't put it on or anything. I'm just happy to be one of the chosen comedians for this beginning one. So I do have shows on May 13th and 2 on May 14th, I believe. May 21st, I'm in Astoria, Oregon at the Liberty Theater. May 22nd, I'm at the Four Horsemen Brewing in Kent, Washington. May 25th, I'm in Seattle, downtown somewhere. And May 26th through the 28th, I'm headlining the Lounge at the End of the Universe in Boise, Idaho. So if you have some Memorial Day weekend plans, come spend them in Boise, you know? Maybe you're going to be in Boise already. Come see me. It's one show a night, I believe. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Boise, May 26th through the 28th, Lounge at the End of the Universe. All of those, more information. God, I am struggling with, I don't even know what kind of word that is. Is that a preposition? Those? I don't know. I'm really mixing them up today. All that information is on my website, monicanevi.com, where it says live shows, I think. I used to say see me live. That was a bad idea because people thought it was a webcam. It's not. All right, here we go. Bad ideas coming in. I think they're actually pretty good ideas. This is my first one. I think we're all hopefully familiar with the Roomba. If you're not, I did a sketch about it on my YouTube. Go ahead and check that out. It's silly. Hear me out here. A Roomba for the grass. Not a vacuum, like a lawnmower, like a robot lawnmower. Does that exist? I don't know. Obviously, I was thinking about this while I'm mowing the lawn, but the problem with the Roomba, if you don't have a Roomba or some version of a robot vacuum, they are very stupid. It's not like you would think it'd be like, here's this square room. It'll go, one line at a time, turn around, one line, like you would when you vacuum. No. They're just willy-nilly going whatever which way. Then they end up vacuuming the same spot over and over again. Don't get to the other spot. They get stuck under stuff, whatever. These are some of the issues we may run into with the Roomba, the lawn Roomba. The lawn Roomba? I don't know. Robot mower. Because it doesn't ever go in a straight line. Also, what keeps it moving is that it's got a little bumper on it. So when it runs into stuff, then it knows to turn the wrong way. But it turns, obviously. Sometimes it gets stuck on stuff. Anyways, these are defects that are with the vacuum version. So what I'm thinking for the lawn version, the lawn Roomba here, is you set up those, those invisible dog fences that, I don't know if you've ever seen these, but it's kind of fucked up. But they put a collar on the dog where it like shocks it if it goes into where this invisible line is. And so then it keeps the dog in the yard without actually putting up a fence, right? I don't know if they still make these because I don't think it's very humane, but you could use it for a lawnmower, I would think. So you would set up those around the area that needed to be mowed or was allowed to be mowed. And then once it hit the invisible fence, it would know to turn in the same way that when it runs into your foot in the house, it turns. And then it would mow the lawn for you. That's pretty good, I think. Are there issues with that? Probably. The other thing that I know some people, when they mow their lawns, they like a certain pattern, you know, we like to go diagonal or cross, or maybe you do a square. I do a square sometimes. You can't tell though. I have a push mower and I like it, but our fucking weird neighbors come out and watch me mow the lawn every time I mow the lawn. It drives me nuts. Anyways. But you can't really see a pattern on our grass because it's like half weeds. Sorry, I'm looking at it right now. But you missed some patches, you know, every once in a while. Got to get in there. So the lawn Roomba could mow for as long as it needed to, you know. So it's a battery powered situation. That does happen with the vacuums after a while. They run out of batteries, they die, and then it's just in the middle of everything, and it didn't finish its job. You got one fucking job, Roomba. You need to finish it. So we have a lawnmower Roomba that has enough battery or solar power. That runs into, I'm in the Northwest anyways. But you usually don't mow the lawn unless it's not raining, right? So maybe that, okay. So it could be a solar powered thing. Anyways, that's not for me to decide, okay? Then it would just, because ours is set, you can set it for certain times. There's an app on your phone. You set it for a certain time, right? And then it just starts, vacuums up, takes way too fucking long. But then eventually it goes back to its home where it charges. You have this same setup for the lawn, and you could do that whatever every Sunday, or you know, whenever you should, how often you should mow your lawn. I don't know your lawn. I don't know your life. Is that a good idea? One of the many problems with the indoor vacuum Roomba is that if you don't take everything off the floor, it could suck it up or push it around or get stuck on it. Oh God, it gets stuck on the rugs all the time. So depending on where you live, so let's put this, ideally you lived somewhere where you might have like a riding mower, you know, you might need a riding mower or something that maybe is uneven, but you're away from maybe busier places. Our house happens to be on a rather busy street, which is why maybe you can hear the cars. I don't know. But the other part that's annoying about our lawn is that sometimes some of the debris from the street or whatever piece of shit's walking by and decides to just leave their garbage, or, you know, maybe it gets windy and people's garbage blows around, whatever. Anyways, that ends up in the yard. What if that gets stuck in the Roomba? Or the other consideration would be if you're going in the front yard where maybe people have access to the yard, you don't have a fence or, you know, whatever, there's a sidewalk next to it. Would they fuck with it? Would somebody fuck with your lawn Roomba, you know? If this already exists, I want a discount code. If it doesn't, I think we're on to something. I don't think it's that bad. You know, I think a lot of my concerns too are coming from my disdain for our own indoor lawn. That's not indoor lawn. Our vacuum Roomba. So that's not a bad idea. Oh my God. Okay. So I want you to comment. If this already exists, send me a link, because there's no way for me to look it up. I'm just kidding. Obviously, I could look it up on my own. But if you have one, I'd be interested to hear the story. Does it work well? How is it? Do you use it? Does it do a well enough job that you don't need to go back over it? You know, when you let a little kid do the dishes, and then you have to do them again anyways. And by little kid, I mean your 30-year-old adult male roommate. I used to have to redo the dishes whenever I lived with men. Is it worth it if it does exist? If not, how do we make it as effective as possible? That could be the other part. If, somebody gets their foot under there while it's just going in your front yard, then you could get sued, You never want to get sued. Or we could get sued as a company. I also don't really think Lawn Roomba is the best name. So if you have any other name suggestions, that would be also helpful. Okay. I feel rusty a little bit. I'll be completely honest. I feel rusty a little bit. And I've had a weird week. I know this isn't really let's just check in on you kind of podcast, but my anxiety is not great. I think maybe I've mentioned it before. I have a general panic disorder, whatever, as most of us do. But it feels like it's been more on edge lately than usual. And me on edge means I'm like, almost going to have a panic attack sometimes. So it's annoying. And then I do. So Friday night I had one right before I got on stage, which happens, unfortunately. Not because I get nervous for the stage. In fact, it goes away when I get on stage. It's usually because I didn't sleep enough or drank too much the night before, or it's just stress in general. Regardless, full sweat, and then, I consider leaving. This has happened many times where I'm like, I could just leave. I think that maybe calms me down a little bit, where I'm like, I could just leave. I don't ever leave. Do the full set. Just not feeling good. Anyways, then Saturday, I did a show in Bellingham and a show in Mount Vernon. And this is what, now both of these situations have made me maybe think of this next product. I don't know if it's going to be very comfortable, but that's not what we're worried about here, okay? So that happened Friday night, right? Panic attack, where I did sweat a lot. Like I got really hot. And then the next day we had a show in Mount Vernon, Washington at a winery that was just, the show was fine, but the guy who was running it, saying it was going to take a lot longer, and we didn't have that information before, and it was whatever. So that was stressful for me, but that's fine. We had another show right afterwards that we needed to get to anyway. But this dude was huge. Is it Jerome Depardieu? That's like the big dude. Comment what his real name is. Depardieu. Sorry, this is Gerard Depardieu. Anyways, it wasn't him, but this gentleman worked at a winery. Big guy, like 6'5", maybe 6'4", 6'5", and a large human. And I mean, I get it. If you work at a winery, you're going to enjoy some wine, maybe more than is recommended from a health standpoint. Now, I don't know him personally, or at least that well personally, so I don't know if this is true. But I did watch him after we kind of argued about how long the show was going to take. And then, of course, being passive-aggressive comedians, we were like, yep, that's fine. We'll just do whatever you want, and we'll be late to our other show. Then I watch him sitting there, and he drinks a glass of red wine in one gulp, wasn't necessarily tasting it, it didn't seem. And later in the evening, when I needed to get our check before the other comedians were off stage, I was trying to find him, and I find him, and he is beet red, sweating, just doesn't look like he feels good, maybe in a similar situation as I had the night before. Regardless, sweating a lot. That's the key here. do these stories really help the product placement? No, they don't. But this is just me explaining to you why I'm a little off, maybe. Okay, so I was thinking, now I actually sweat a lot. Not like too much, somebody's like, it's really excessive, but I do sweat a considerable amount. And I try not to wear deodorant with like aluminum in it or whatever. I already have skin cancer. I'm like afraid to get breast cancer. So I'd use like natural deodorants, which work for a little bit, but just not as well, right? So the sweat is, I don't want to smell and whatever. Okay. For people who sweat a lot, it is maybe an undershirt or it's just kind of like a shoulder strap, maybe, that puts like kind of like a pad. Oh, you could do like maybe an adhesive. It's like kind of like a pad in there. Does this exist too? Am I just thinking of stuff that already exists? I don't know. It'd be like a diaper for your armpit. I know there's like they're like panty liners type of stuff that goes in there. But I was thinking more of, they have those underwear for ladies now where if you want to sleep with your period, then it kind of like you can just bleed into your underwear. Sorry if nobody knew that, but that's a thing now. You can just bleed on in there, and then that's what they're made for, and it's got like a little pad in there. So those, but for your armpits, so you could just sweat on into the thing, and then whenever you were done freaking out, done sweating, you could take it off and still have kind of, maybe give yourself a wipe. But then it wouldn't have gotten onto your shirt, wouldn't be a pit stain situation, and then maybe you wouldn't smell, like your shirt wouldn't smell and stuff. Is that good? I don't know. The pit patch? That's pretty good. Now I'm starting to feel like maybe that exists too. Do people tape their armpits? I've heard of people getting Botox in their armpits so that they don't sweat. That's a thing. But then supposedly it makes you sweat more out of other places. Look, and all of this research has been done through Chelsea Peretti's stand-up special. She talks about it in that. But so those patches have to exist. Anyways, I'm thinking more of like a removable, more like the washable underwear. Okay. So you put them on when you are, you're going to sweat. Maybe you're going to be at your wedding and you have a suit on, that could be helpful. Or you probably don't want to wear them if you have a strapless dress. Maybe you're giving a presentation in class. And you want to, and then you have to be at school for the rest of the day, or you have other stuff to do for the rest of the day. Then you would remove the pit patch and put it in your backpack until you can do some laundry. And then you'd have a fresh, at least, armpit of your clothes, This is the other thing. I'm gay, if people don't know that. But my fiance and I can wear the same sweatshirts and sweaters and stuff. And if I wear them on stage, then she's like, we have to wash it right away because I've sweat in it. I get a little sweaty on stage. And so I'm thinking of this because, you don't have to wash your clothes if you only wear them for a little bit. Is that weird? Is that a thing? How often are you guys washing your clothes? Anyways. So if I had borrowed one of her sweaters, worn the pit patch, then take it off when I take the sweater off, it would not have the armpit stuff on it. This isn't bad, Here's the other part about both of these things potentially existing. That means it's not a bad idea. Actually, never mind. There are plenty of things that exist that are bad ideas, but we just allow that in our world anyways. All right. The lawn Roomba and the pit patch. What's your favorite? What do you think is going to work the best? I'm pretty set on the pit patch name. But if you got other suggestions for the lawn Roomba, you let me know. Wherever you are right now, do wherever you are, like you're in YouTube. God, today is a struggle. Okay. First of all, follow our Instagram at Dumb Pitches. Then, whatever you're listening to this in, or watching the pictures from my iPhone on. Subscribe to that thing. So if you're on Apple Podcasts, give us a subscription. YouTube, subscribe to my channel. Then, okay. I would love it for you to be on the YouTube membership. That's actually like the most helpful thing for us. But if you're poor, and I understand that's totally fine, if you could take that energy of wanting to be part of the YouTube membership group and go on Apple Podcasts and give us a rating, 5-star would be helpful, and a review, say some nice things, very helpful. Or you can just comment on stuff. Like commenting on things makes stuff pull up more. I fucking hate social media, but here we are, okay? Nice comments are helpful. Separate from that, I have put a lot of stuff up in the last couple of weeks. Clips from my special are up on Helium Comedy Studios YouTube. I put a clip from my set from the 420 show where I was high. Oops. That's the point of the show. Anyways, and I accidentally told the whole audience that a man was on mushrooms because he told me that in confidence in the bathroom. My bad. So you can see that clip, or if you want to see the entire high set, that is on YouTube memberships. Yep. And you guys are great. We're going to be back next week with the full video and guests, and it'll be so exciting. Thank you for being here and being fans, and I appreciate you so very much. And yeah, please, if you could, give us a review on Apple. We kind of go in spurts, but that is helpful for getting the word out to some other people. But right now, you can just keep listening to Dumb Pitches and watching. You can watch the other ones. All right, bye.
You're weird.
Yes.